Welcome, everyone, to this webinar today, ServiceNow AI Starter Guide. My name is Sasha Andersen, and I'm the marketing manager here at the Cloud People. And during this webinar today, we will have some polls. So you will have this pop up on your screen, and I hope you will answer. And then I will jump on because today we have. Oh, that's you, Sandra, who's in charge of the presentation today.
Yes.
Great.
No worries.
I have you guys with me today, Sandra Petersen and Marius Lien. Maybe you could put some words on yourself.
Of course. Then yes, I'm Sondre Pedersen, solution architect here at the Cloud People. So I've had the privilege of working on several AI projects already on the ServiceNow platform. So hoping to share some insights and also, yeah, give you a starter guide on from ServiceNow.
Glad to be here as well. My name is Marius. So I work as an advisory solution consultant in ServiceNow in Norway and working with some of the largest customers of ours in Norway. And some of them we work very close together with Sondre and the TCP team. So again, pleasure to be here.
Perfect.
Thank you. And for those of you who might not know us, we are the Cloud People, a pure play ServiceNow leader partner located across Northern Europe and Americas. And as you also said, Sandra, we are specialized in various domains and modules and offer various end-to-end solutions. But today we are going, or you are going to talk about AI. And with that being said, I would hand over the word to you. And then again, we will have polls. If you have any questions, please just and or write in the chat or the question tab. I will make sure you are being heard.
Yeah. So please do send questions, and we'll take those accordingly throughout the session. All right, let's have a look at the quick agenda. So we have a couple of points here on both what is an AI tsunami. It's here. Typical challenges.
It sounds scary, doesn't it?
Yes, it does sound very scary actually, but it's a little bit scary, but we'll get through it.
Let's see after the event, yeah?
For sure. Then we'll look at, okay, maybe what's the solution, how you can actually go forward. A little about, okay, how can you actually take control? And we'll look at some of the solution that we have from ServiceNow. And as well as we'll look at some A to C walkthrough with some key takeaways. And of course, we're open for questions at the end.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, this scary word, Sondre.
Yes.
Yeah.
A tsunami.
It's a big wave.
Exactly. And I think that's what we have all felt in the last couple of year at least, or a bit more than that. That is, okay, AI is here and it's not just gonna float away, but it's probably gonna come crashing into everyone's life.
I think it's just the middle of hitting us all right. It's we're in the middle of it. That's for sure. Yeah.
So we're, as you could say, been surfing the wave.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think it's actually a good word for it because it's all over the place, and I think we're coming back to that in a bit. But what we see across all the organizations that we talk to, both here in Norway and perhaps also especially also globally, we're seeing some of the same things happening again that we saw with the advent of bring your own apps to work, bring your own stuff to work, and also SaaS solutions all over. And we've seen the same thing again, because after all, we're tech people, right? So we love bringing new tech onto our offices, and the same thing is happening with the AI as well. So everyone is bringing their own AI to work. Yes, that's one of the things that we see.
And of course, that can be a bit of a problem as well, as we saw with the applications, because with so many applications, if they're not connected and if they're starting to be siloed, we're going to have the exact same problem we had or still probably working on getting fixed. And now we're going to do the same for AI. As that might be a huge risk.
Absolutely, it's a risk, and just take the very simple example of you sit on tons of sensitive information and business secrets and all of these kind of things. How do you make sure that your employees don't use that in ChatGPTs or outside of regulated AI technologies? That's just one of the challenges, right? Because like you said right on the slide here, it's very easy for people to actually use a credit card and buy some ChatGPT or whatever have you, right? So, and bringing that along. Now all of a sudden this is in production, if you will.
Yep.
Yeah. And that leads to lack of control, I would say.
Yeah, totally agree. And it's just that it's we're doing the same mistakes again and again, and we'll try to look at, okay, what is some of the mitigating factors maybe we can look at throughout here.
Absolutely, but in that, let's say, with that knowledge, I would also say that the companies and CIOs and especially new roles like CAIOs have a golden opportunity. We're still quite early in the life cycle of AI, even though it's been a couple of years. We're still early in the life cycle, so we still have the chance to not go down that road once again.
Exactly.
Did it with SaaS applications, we did it with the equipment that we brought on to work. Now we actually can do some mitigations to, let's say, limit the risks that AI brings along to the businesses. Yeah.
So what's this new
another scary one?
Yeah, another scary. What's this new reality then? It's AI anarchy, which is probably a word that we don't use much in business.
No, absolutely. And I was thinking about Sex Pistols. They just played on the Tons of Rock Festival this summer, but other than that, it's a seldom word that I see at least. But that's, I think, again, you hit the nail on the head, right? With this word. So AI anarchy. Again, coming back to people bringing technology to work. And there are now hundreds, if not thousands, of technologies out there. ChatGPTs, Geminis, and Lovables of the world, and all of the platforms do have their own AIs as well. That you already have in the business. ServiceNow is one of them, of course, and co-pilots and it's all over the place, right? And if you don't structure this, you will end up in anarchy, or another word is chaos, like you have here on the slide. So that is the challenge, right? And with losing controls, that is something that we really need to get our heads around and address.
That's for sure. And then what is the, like, of course, there's usually a good reason why we try them, because we want to be more efficient. We want to drive more business. We want to, really get the nice benefits of AI that is getting promised, right? Because getting promised from all of this will help us do this much better, much quicker. And now with AI agents as well, that is giving us a lot of hope. Okay, maybe we can get rid of all these manual tasks. But the question is then, or what I hear as well is, okay, but what is the end goal? Why do we want to do this? Why, or we just want to put AI on this and then it fixes all my problems? But probably not, because what is the goal? What is the purpose? What is the
most certainly not
process that it should fix?
And I think that is probably the most important questions. And I think many people still skip this step, right? Because it's sort of a thought process that needs to go on. What kind of use cases do we have? And what kind of value does it bring along to the business? And like it says here on the slide, it's lack of goals that are probably the most challenging one, because again, back to us being techies, we like to bring our tech to work and let's test it. I think it was like, just 1 week ago where we had an example at work that somebody came along and said that, hey, we just want to test this. And somebody asked a question back, yeah, for what? And no, just don't worry about that. We just want to test it, right? Can we have some test instances or
Yeah.
whatever. And why? That was still an answer to that question. And I think that is especially paramount when we're talking about AI and all of the use cases that we are using AI for. Because in the end of the day, it's about improving the bottom line and the top line of the business. That's what we're after, right?
Yep.
But AI doesn't fit all.
No.
It's not always you should use AI. So we really need to be clear on the goals and why do we do things.
Yeah.
That is paramount here.
And to be able to do this it's the governance, right? You need something to then have a certain amount of control
Mm.
on what AIs are we actually doing or actually putting out in the business. Because if you go and ask if everyone starts buying their own, then
Mm.
I, as a chief on the top, then how do they know how many AI tools are getting used?
Exactly.
And where's the data and all these things? So, and especially with we're in EU and we have some very much, we have GDPR, we have EU AI Act.
Mm.
And I've been through this process with these projects I've been doing with ServiceNow customers. We had to do the EU AI Act.
Mm.
And then you have to fill out a lot of information.
Mm.
And that is, okay, where is that stored? Do the organization have the people needed to be able to govern this and control this in a good manner?
Mm.
Not maybe just Excel sheets,
Mm.
which is always trusted and loved
No
by
kidding.
everyone. Yeah. But
You're all over the place.
is this the place that we should keep all these important things?
Probably not, because I mean GDPR and EU AI Act and other regulations, that's non-negotiable. Companies are facing huge fines if they don't comply to this kind of regulations. So that is a no-go if you don't. So that needs to be there for sure.
Yeah.
And that therein lies a challenge as well, and it's not a new challenge as well. But one thing that's not on this slide, but it's let's say implicit. On one side, you have people that really want to be innovative. We're being told that, let's say, innovation happens. We need to get on the forefront to be ahead of the competition and all of that. And if we do AI, that will help us accelerate even more. And on the other side, you have factors which is on the screen here, losing control and getting to grips with all the risks that's there. These are competing factors, right? These are competing things, and that leads to, let's say, a drag between the two. But like we say in ServiceNow, we say yes to both, but because both things needs to happen. And I think we will get into that in a bit, how we can, let's say, balance the two not worlds, I would say, but bridge the worlds. That's a better one.
Probably bridge the two people that is trying to then probably achieve the same thing in the end, but needs to help them talk to each other in a good way so everyone's happy for a win-win.
Absolutely.
All right, then let's do an even more deep dive into some of the challenges. And
maybe
that is, yes,
before we continue, it's time to hear about the challenges of our audience.
Yes, well, let's run the poll.
Yes. So, which of these AI challenges is the most pressing for your organization today?
I can't see that far, but
I'm not sure if you can see the results here, but it looks like it's a lack of clear goal strategy, and then too many AI technologies to choose from.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much as we have expected, and also what we have talked about so far. So
no surprise there, but I think that speaks for itself. Yeah.
I will leave again and pop up when it's time for the next poll.
Yes.
Perfect.
Thank you, Sasha.
Okay.
Yes, and that is a bit what we talked about. It's this the problem is the goals, right? It's why are we doing this, and why are we then trying to figure out to fix the problem? What is the underlying problem that actually is, or what is the deficiency? Where is it actually stopping us to be able to then be more efficient and though look at those processes, I think that is the key point we have to start with.
Absolutely. And there, I mean, facilitate those kind of workshops that goes through these processes. Throw it out there. What are we actually trying to solve for in the business, and prioritize them. Do post-it notes or whatever, but get really into the details. What are we trying to solve for in our business, and be selective in the just like you said, Sondre. On what we are trying to do, why we're doing this. So, and again, back to the question, how can it help us achieve one of our business goals? I think we'll see that when we get to the let's say more demo-ish part of the presentation.
Yeah.
How you can do that in practice.
Exactly, and then as well as that's something we also help a lot of our customers with, right? Is this actually what is, because a lot of customers know kind of what they want to achieve. They have some kind of, at least where they would like to use AI, but it's also, this is quite hard to make certain use cases, I think, in this part. And it's about guiding and thinking in the right way, where you then have, okay, I want to fix this problem. And then it's a lot about, okay, but we can fix the problem, but you might not need AI to fix the problem.
Could be something else.
It could be something else. And then maybe later on, that's when you can actually use AI to then improve it, or just remove the whole task after you then improve the process.
Yeah, there are several reasons why AI might not be the answer to everything. It is certainly the answer to very many use cases. But again, back to being really selective about which use cases you pick for AI. Think about let's say AI agents, because that's on everybody's tongue these days. AI agents, you can regard them as human beings, and they need to be trained. They need to be going for a while, and they get better and better. You need to improve them as well. So that actually takes a little bit of time to get AI agents to a level of quality that is desirable, right? So again, back to what Sondre just said, it's not always that these use cases that come up on the board are suitable for AI. They should be done. But then it might be done by regular automation. Could be workflows, could be predictive intelligence, could be something else. But again, back to where we started. I think be really selective when it comes to when and where you do AI agents, and when do you benefit the most.
Yeah. And we'll look into more on the governance nightmare as well, as we mentioned with the Excels. We'll also look at, okay, because ROI, the value, these are also important things you want to measure, right? Is actually, are we actually getting value out of the AI we're implementing? Do we see that this is actually helping both efficiency, saving cost? Because it's fun to do AI, and it's, as tech is, it's very fun to do and try them out. They might be very cool and work great, but is it actually creating value for the ones that needs the value, or is it helping somebody in the chain?
One of the good news, I think, when we're talking about this, is that very many customers that we talk to, at least, they are, as all over the globe, perhaps, or probably these days, everyone's pressed on costs, right? There are cost savings is on top of mind, and so people are really pressured to see, okay, I can probably give you this much money to invest in AI, but then you need to prove back some sort of value. So I think businesses are really getting into the and let's say details on we need to do this, and really ask the questions why. So at least that's the thing that we see more now than just let's say 3-4 years back. So that's a good thing.
That's a good thing for AI, and good thing for automation and getting things actually more efficient.
Absolutely.
All right, then the solution or the framework for success. So what is this, Marius? What are these 4 things we have here? We have the people, the process, the tools, and the data.
Yeah.
Let's start with the people, as we have talked a little about the AI agents. But it's about upskilling, right?
Yeah, it is. So, and just before we went on here, you were talking about some of your people here as well, some
Yeah.
consultants here. It need to get up to speed on really learn the technology, really learn what it's all about and how it can benefit the business. But when we're talking about people in the enterprises around, I think it's equally important to educate people on why, what's happening, what is the, let's say, framework for governing AI, what kind of technologies do we have in place, and what is the process for improving. Let's say if I as an employee had a request for something new, I've seen this cool technology that I want to bring on board, and then I need to know where should I put that, let's say, request and idea and demand, so to speak. And you see where I'm going with this, right?
Yes.
Everybody's has been a customer or ServiceNow customer for some time, knows where we're going with this, but we'll get back to that. But again, awareness, change management is more important than ever. Why do we do things, and how will it impact my work, day-to-day work? How do I use AI responsible? Those are all kind of things that we as employees need to be made aware of, so we do use it in a proper way. Responsible AI is a very important thing, especially when it comes to safeguarding business data.
Exactly.
Right there. So those are just a few things around the people bullet here.
Yeah. Then, of course, as you mentioned it also a bit on the process, it's important that we have then established and made it as easy as possible to then follow the process we want. We want to get the document, we want to make it go through a certain kind of intake so we can actually screen it, do the needful EU AI Act risk assessments and other these type of things. And as we know on a lot of other things, when you want to do the change management of people, they need to make it available to the people, make it as easy as possible
100%.
to the people, for both the people who are sending the intake, but also the people that is working on the background. It's very key that they have it as easy as possible. I've been trying to automate it and have it as simple as possible, but still giving much as value as possible for all the different lines.
Absolutely. So again, conceptually, nothing new here, but I think it's very important to have these things in mind. Everybody that has been around in IT and process kind of work for some years knows about the 3 Ps or these kind of things: people, process, and products, or tools, and also the data aspect here. And the processes is to have some sort of a structured form of let's say demand intake, like Sondre said here. And then you get back to this aspect of innovative versus not versus, but doing it in a responsible way, right? So having clear processes communicated to people, those are the 2 fundamental steps to start with.
Yeah. And then it's all about the tools, and that is especially okay. Then of course Excel is great, but and if Excel is the way, then at least it's a tool. So it's better than having notes written down, but at least it's all about having the tools that can do the work, and really making, at least having a governance and sharing and having the transparency, which we also come down to the data as well. It's having a tool that can share the data and give that transparency through the organization, so
Very
they can
important.
have so people who are in decision roles can take the decision based on data, on review, on using a tool that can give out good data on what you actually need and need to decide on.
Absolutely. And again, I think we're going back to this as well, but in the data point, you will see as we explore let's say the control tower a little bit more, it all comes down to the, no surprise there as well, but the CMDB, the data. Where do we have the data, and what quality is it about? So we're getting back to that. But I see that Sasha has brought up the poll again here. Is it?
Or is that the old one?
The old one. Did you bring up the poll again, Sasha?
But we can wait a bit with the poll. I have a poll about the next topic you will talk about.
Okay, then let's move forward.
And that is all about taking control.
Yeah, absolutely.
With ServiceNow.
Absolutely. And since I cannot see faces on the camera here, but I guess that at least some of you in the audience here has been looking into ServiceNow AI already, and are doing that. Then you might also be aware of a product that comes along with Now Assist, which is the AI product from ServiceNow, our portfolio with ServiceNow. That is called the AI Control Tower. And we'll have a look at that in just a few minutes. But you will also see that it follows very much of the same concepts as in, let's say, more traditional asset management life cycle methods of working. So again, we're using this, let's say, many of the same concepts that we were used from before, but we also will regard AI as strategic assets, because again, AI will enable business outcomes, as we've discussed now many times.
Yep.
So AI will enable outcomes for the business, saving money, increasing productivity, increasing customer experiences, and all of that. So that needs to be governed. And you will see that the first thing for a maturing organization is to turn the lights on. What do we have? And do what we refer to as AI discovery. What do we have actually in store that actually brings AI outcomes to the table? So that is the first thing. And once it's there, it's easier for everybody to govern AI throughout this life cycle.
And also with this, if there are customers already who have Now Assist, they also get some of this already, don't they?
Exactly. So for Now Assist customers of ServiceNow, you will have already the AI Control Tower ability to control whatever use cases you build on the ServiceNow platform. That's one thing. But that doesn't limit you to just ServiceNow, because you can also purchase a product, AI Control Tower, for everything that you have in terms of AI technology. Let's say you have, like, just name a number. Let's say you have 50 AI technologies. I don't know if that's much or little, but just a hypothetical number. If you have all these AI technologies, you can also use the AI Control Tower to control and have oversight over all your AI models, technology prompts, and everything for that.
And that's if you have them in Azure or other systems like this, and then you can have them also have everything combined in one place.
Exactly. And again, I think it's more important than ever, because things are happening so fast. And we just rewind a couple of years back, where AI merely did exist, right? So what do we have now? So really, the importance of having one place to govern it, I think that's paramount.
Yeah.
And especially with the next bullet there, Sondre,
Yes.
when it comes to GDPR and the EU AI Act.
Yeah, and then we'll show that a bit later, also more in depth on how this could work. But it's really, how can we manage and mitigate all potential risks, all in the same place, where you also have then, or you might already have it. A lot of people have risk management already inside of ServiceNow.
Yeah.
So why not extend it also for AI?
Exactly.
You might have their own technology and other parts, but if also that is very connected, what I see is that you want to show actually where, what applications, what business application, what other things are AI driven, and how can you then combine these into one system where you can actually have control on both what are the typical risks with an application, and on top of that, what are the risks of actually adding AI to this application, if it's a critical one. Is it having data that it might be personal? Do we have all this information? I mean, if we combine everything in and have good data on this, then you can take better decisions. So yes, we don't have any personal data here. Perfect. But then it's not that risky to activate this AI. And then we can jump into the benefits right away. But we have done and tried to mitigate as many risks as possible and quality assured it.
Absolutely, and that's a hugely important topic. And I think also you will get some help there with the EU AI Act, because that defines, let's say, risk classification hierarchy for different AI technology, and that's, as it happens, along with NIS2, is also coming as content packs to the product that we will see in just a bit. So you will actually get some tool help with what is known as a content library with, among others, EU AI Act. So we'll actually get some guidance on how to best follow up on these kind of regulations.
Yeah.
Before we continue,
Yeah.
maybe it's time to ask the audience.
Fire away.
If they are currently using AI capabilities in ServiceNow today. And then, of course, to hear if there are anyone who has any questions out there, then please feel free to ask them in the chat or in the question tab.
Then soon after this, we'll start to show a bit also from the AI control tower.
It looks like that several organizations are actively using AI today. Several are also planning to start within the next 12 months. So it is a good trend there.
Yeah, it's hitting people who are already using it or planning. So that's very good.
Yeah, to use a cliche, I don't think it's a question of how or if, or I think it's a question of when, right? So it's that's not surprising either. So that's good to hear. All right. So did we have the presentation back on the screen? Thank you, Sasha. Thank you. So again, let's say, sorry for being product oriented here, but after all, we're representing ServiceNow here. So the AI Control Tower is our, let's say, product for governing all of these aspects that we've spent the last 30 minutes or so talking about, right? So what it brings along is several things. And I actually saw an internal view and a presentation of this just yesterday. And many times we look at, let's say, other areas of businesses to get inspired, and we talk to customers to get inspired on what do they actually need, and we build solutions for it. That's let's say the usual innovation part. But sometimes it also stems from ourselves as well. And the AI Control Tower actually came out of our own need to govern AI. And if the audience is not aware of it, I would highly recommend going into our website and watch a series of interest, of course, for something that's called Now on Now. And that is just how we use our own platform for different purposes. For me as an the AI Control Tower. So the AI Control Tower was something that we built for ourselves because we quickly understood that we're not just going to use ServiceNow. We use that for a lot, of course, because we're ServiceNow, but we also do have a lot of other technologies as well. So bringing this together in one single place was paramount for us to actually be able to do. And we're going to be talking about a few of the capabilities of the AI Control Tower today. There's tons of others, but I don't think I've seen a product that actually brings along the intake, the process of improving, the value aspect as well, the risk aspect in one single product. I don't think I've seen that to this extent before. And not to give any promises, but I would assume that you will see this across other ServiceNow products as time goes by. But again, we'll look at some capabilities in the product. And first of all, it brings along a single intake process. And what is it? A single intake process is, let's say, a structured way of gathering, AI requests from users or stakeholders and process managers, so they can do, like Sondre was saying earlier, do that in a simple and easy to understand way. And that could typically come from an established process on your employee portal. It could be a mobile app, it could be a virtual agent of sorts. But again, going back to having one defined process and intake for AI initiatives. And you were also mentioning that, Sondre, full visibility and transparency on all technology that we have, on all the AI technology, and all the initiatives and all the risks. So we have that in one, keep that in one place.
Yep.
And also with the governance aspects as well.
All right.
Right.
And going more into the actual demonstration or in the flow of things. Marius.
Yeah. We're going to look at a couple of the use cases that I was already mentioning. First and foremost, we've talked a lot about having clear goals for our AI investments and AI initiatives. And some minutes ago, I was saying that you probably knew where I was going with this, and you were probably right, because many of you ServiceNow customers are already using strategic portfolio management to govern your projects, your high priority goals, your business goals, your visions, and your strategies, and also demands and ideas related to those strategies. And the same thing goes with the AI Control Tower. So we merge those two, let's say, worlds together, and have, like we talked about now for some minutes, have a structured intake for all AI initiatives.
Yep.
And we connect why. The first question is why, right? So why do we do things? I would think it would make sense for me as a consultant in ServiceNow to have some AI supported technology to where I can, log hours, or I can, do regular business stuff. And to do that, I need to ask for it, right? I just can't go along and buy something for my own purposes. So this is where we connect ideas to strategies. We define the AI strategy. What do we use AI for in the business? And then when we have established, let's say this is a list of our 20 or 10 or 5 top prioritized AI technologies in the business, then we need to govern that throughout the life cycle in the enterprise. So we're going to look at two, let's say, flows from the perspective of 2 different persona. The first one was Megan Burke. She was a portfolio manager defining strategies. Why do we do things in the business? And the second one is a product owner that needs AI support for one of her products, and
Exactly.
that she's responsible for.
And then I will also look at, sorry, lost my voice a bit, but and then we'll look at, actually looking at the review, right? And actually look at how with a potential EU AI Act review, look at in the system as well, which I think could be very beneficial.
Absolutely. So let's dig into it. So again, we have merged capabilities of both strategic portfolio management and AI Control Tower. And what we see here are all the portfolio plans in a, let's say, fictitious business called Electri. And there's one initiative or portfolio plan there that's named AI Transformation Journey at Electri. Could be your business standing here. And we dig into that. We have a place where we can define goals for our business. Some of you are probably using this already, goals and targets. And this is classic OKR framework, where you define the strategy and the goals and the metrics and the KPIs and all of that. And this is how we are progressing with our targets. This is a planning phase where we actually see some of the initiatives come to life. For instance, there's a target here saying that we need to increase AI investment by 50% in 12 months. Well, why? That's the next question, right?
Yeah.
But there's a value right there. We need to invest from $2.5 million to, or not you, it says $1 million here, and to the final target of $5 million as we go along.
You can see the actuals as well.
Exactly. And why do we do this? Classic one is to drive top line growth. It could be employee productivity, could be customer satisfaction, and so on and so forth. But this is, let's say, the main register on why we do things in the business, regardless of technology, because like you said here in the beginning, AI is just one of the portfolios in strategic portfolio management.
Yep.
Roadmap. Some of you might have seen something similar to this already, but this is the AI roadmap. Again, going back to having things in one structured place. We're going to be providing a self-service portal powered by AI. There's going to be an AI-driven assistant, personalized customer insights, performance, etc., etc. So that these are all the things that we are doing AI for in the business. Again, going back to why do we do things?
Yep.
So these, when you do, let's say, AI-related workshops and select use cases for doing AI, this is where it should end up.
Should match the goals on what you want to do, and if it does, then it's easier to also get both probably funding and also to be able to do the right type of AI project that will actually drive an outcome.
Absolutely.
All right, let's here you can see,
and that's a timeline.
Yeah,
timeline type of thing. So when do we do things? Because we usually can't do everything at once.
Nope.
So this is a classic timeline diagram for the roadmap.
And just some
details and comments around it. So that is, let's say, defining the AI strategy in the business and tying all initiatives to business goals. The next persona, or let's say the situation we're going to talk a little bit about, is the intake form and assessment of a, let's say, fixtures use case that we're going to look into.
And that is exactly that. If I want to make, I'm a consultant, I have found this new AI case I would really like to use, then you can then go here on the employee center, right? Or have then it available at your portal.
Or it could be in Microsoft Teams, it could be on Slack, could be on a chatbot, or what have you, right? So this is just one example of an intake form. But again, going back to what you said in the beginning, Sondre, it needs to be easy, and it's quite clear here that there's a request for an AI use case. And of course, as ServiceNow customers, you should have this Now Assist-enabled search. So when you type in search and say that I need a new AI use case, well, then you get a summarization of how to order it, and you get, you know the drill. So, but again, this is an example of how you can do that. This should also be familiar, classified or not classified, but structured form. What is the initiative that we're asking for? And what kind of model is it? Is it classic AI? Is it generative AI?
Agentic AI.
Agentic AI, of course. What do we mean by classic AI? That could be predictive AI, and so on and so forth. Just a way of categorizing the different initiatives.
And but this is all, you get this with the AI control tower, right?
Yeah, you do. And so what you don't get with the standard version of the AI control tower, in terms of, let's say, ideation and the portfolio management, is the just strategic layer.
Yep.
For that you need the let's say the next version of it. But this one here is included. So now we have gone from, let's say, the intake form on the portal or the Teams or what have you, to the AI control tower itself. And like I said in the beginning, the first thing we need to do of getting control over everything AI is to turn on the lights, right? What do we have? Do an AI discovery. And an AI discovery would end up in the red marked thing here, which is called AI asset inventory. Classic asset concepts, right? So before we jump into that, we can see that we have a very quick overview over all the AI systems that are in place or being onboarded, I would say. And just to be clear on that, AI systems in this context here doesn't mean that ChatGPT is one system. AI system could easily be one use case.
Exactly.
Important to understand, because you probably would not have, or you probably should not have 288 systems.
No, that
per
would
se,
be
right? So just to be clear on that. But going into the AI asset inventory, these are all the use cases that we see here, and you could have classic diagrams where you can sort it on providers and by type, and is it generative AI, is it agentic AI, how many AI models are there, etc., etc. This is your overview of everything AI in terms of asset inventory, and like we also said earlier, this is also, of course, a part of the CMDB. A system that is registered here is also controlled in the ServiceNow CMDB, because I guess that many of you are also familiar with the Common Service Data Model that also, of course, supports AI objects as well. So this is tied together.
Yeah, and especially if you need to learn more about that, we also had a webinar a couple of weeks ago. You can check that out at the website, and you can also rewatch it there if you missed it out. And that talks very much into this getting ready for AI and in the CMDB.
Absolutely. And if you look a little bit closely to on this page here as well, you also have this approval aspect as well, because when something that is of a certain risk, this is also classic change management concept. Somebody needs to approve it, right?
Yep.
So you can also very easily see here 5 AI systems have 9 tasks approaching due date, and you can also see that some of these are also pending approval for before we move forward. Okay, so on to the risk section. So the risk, we've talked about that, is about being compliant.
Yep.
It's about adhering to local and maybe also global and regional regulations
And policies.
and policies, of course. And what we see here is an example from NIST 2 AI Risk Management Framework, where you can say where are we today, and which controls do we need to comply to in the context of AI. So there's 5 applicable controls, at least according to this dashboard here. And how do we comply to these 5 regulations? Well, with 100%. So that's all good for this use case scenario that we see here, at least. Yeah, well, I think we already talked about this. We've added the systems, and we see that there's actually one more since last time we were on this slide, and that's because we have this intake form where somebody actually posted a new need or request on the front page.
So let's have a look at that one then.
And that's this one from Mary Cruz. She requested something, ServiceNow AI customer transaction use case.
And that is now, as you can see, it's in state development. It's not deployed yet. It's not coming there. But let's go into the ServiceNow AI customer transaction and have a look at what it looks like.
Yeah. And here we have the, let's say, regular fields for describing the use case, what it needs to do, analyze customer transaction patterns to uncover buying habits. That might be smart if you're selling something, of course, seasonal trends and products affinities. So it's all about why do I need this use case to be let's say, assessed in the business.
It's your business case on why it should be good to do it.
Absolutely.
So let's click on the start review.
Mm-hmm.
And here we can see there's a lot of assessments that are already created for me on this task. Is a playbook, it looks like.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly that. And that's a platform functionality, which many of you might be familiar with. But the playbook is a preset process, conditional, so you can build logic into, let's say, any workflow. So that's sort of the modern way of building workflows in ServiceNow. So this is a visual presentation of what needs to be done when assessing a new AI requirement. And this playbook here comes out of the box as an example for you to actually have as a good starting point in the AI Control Tower. Consists of some assessment tasks, like we see here, the architecture review, the risk assessment, the stakeholder review, and impact assessment.
Yeah, and all of these, of course, can be configured to be changed to the need of those out there and the different business needs, and also follow the different structure also you might have in the CMDB. If you have connected this to business applications or other things, then you can get all of this information dynamically updated, and you can even automate as much as possible, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So again, maybe it's 70 or 80% good enough for you, and then you can do the last things, the classic ServiceNow style, right?
Exactly.
Made something for you, and you go the last mile yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have to
Surprise.
AI. But of course, you can then, as a agent, you can also have then, of course, Now Assist and AI agents actually helping you
Mm.
on the way forward on how to do this review, and maybe even automating a lot of the review for you,
Mm.
and then giving you proactive tips on how to actually
Mm.
move forward with this thing.
Yeah, so this is in reality is an assessment agent that
Mhm.
helps you along the way with assessing this concrete use case.
Yeah. But let's now switch a bit, and we're going to actually go in and being one of the reviewers, right, on actually doing, because I have now, you have submitted, right?
Yeah.
I have submitted a new request.
Mm.
And of course, in this case, then there needs some information, right? Is EU AI Act is
Difficult word, that
it's a difficult word,
Yeah.
and then, but of course it's important, and somebody got to do the risk assessment, right?
Exactly. And what I was mentioning earlier about the ready-made content pack, this is what we're going to look at. Before we do that, I just want to highlight a couple of things, because on the top of the slide here, or the top of the menu here, you see that we have a list of all the AI systems. Again, referring back to not just systems like like we usually view them, but systems can be any use case that we are working on. And use cases are supported by AI models. That could be LLMs. It could be any the different AI technologies that we have there. And if prompts are, not if, but prompts are very important. Let's say pieces of the AI puzzles, which needs to be governed as well. So we can have that govern that as well. And also, where do we get the data from? Data is paramount, right?
Yep.
And where do we have trustworthy data? Do we pick data from the, let's say, right sources, so we don't disclose anything that should be, let's kept secret and all that? Data needs to be secured, and we also need to govern where we pick the data from.
Yep.
And that is where we find the data sets. But now,
Question.
yeah,
If that is okay to interrupt, I'm sorry.
sure, go ahead.
It's from Gianluca, who writes here, hello, do you have experience or perception on how much ServiceNow AI will impact the CMDB area? Will it be able to dig into multiple components and relationship in place, integration, discovery tools, certifications, or perform fixes without human interventions? Thank you so much in advance.
That was a huge question. I would
Yeah.
like to say yes to everything, of course. But what we've seen so far, I haven't got the full, let's say, list of capabilities of Now Assist for the CMDB yet. But I know that there's a handful of use cases for CMDB, and the pace that we are developing use cases for the entire ServiceNow platform is huge. I mean that's happening real fast. Just a few months ago, there was a CMDB duplicate finder that came out of the box. I'm 100% sure that that list has been growing since then. So what I would recommend you is to actually go into, first of all, talk to Sondre and the team, and or the account team in ServiceNow, and we can do a presentation for you and find out the exact answers. There's also a lot of information on the communities and ServiceNow website. So I would highly recommend going in there as well to get to search information. But very interesting question. I can see if I can find some more into it later.
But for sure, it's the possibilities are there. If you have all the information in ServiceNow, and with the possibility of AI agents that can talk with each other, gather more data sources into one, and actually do a review, there is for sure possibilities in this. Is where is it needed? Where is the goal? As we have talked about, is what's the benefits? Should it do it? And yes, AI agents can work without you having to do anything.
Absolutely.
Might want to confirm things before you actually do them on having a peer review kind of way. But again, it's technically and potentially possible, but then again, what's the goal behind it and what do you want to achieve from it?
And that's why we have this, because
Yes.
that's the assessment. What kind of impact does it have on the business? And in your example here, what kind of impact does it have on the, let's say, CMDB's performance? That can be another aspect as well.
Yeah.
If you do have the heavy searches on the CMDB, you need to calculate into the extra performance strains that could bring on. But there's solutions for that as well, just as Raptor PB and Raptor PB Pro.
As we'll come back to later.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'll also just highlight the time here. So it's 5 minutes to 3.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll quickly go through
Rambling
here.
on.
Yes. Not too much left, but we just wanted to go through then the actual assessment on how this could look, and then we have it here. Then assess. We'll go into this task.
Yeah, we'll briefly spin through it.
Yeah.
So what we see here is going back to the, let's say, content pack. In this example here, it's about the EU AI Act, right? So these are all the assessment questionnaires and questions that businesses need to ask themselves and ask colleagues. You were mentioning peer reviews.
Yeah.
So you see here that there's a questionnaire that helps you and guides you along the way. And the goal, of course, in the end of this is to make sure that the ServiceNow AI customer transaction use case is ready for being compliant with the EU AI Act.
Exactly.
That's it.
And then we'll just quickly look. This could be how it looks.
Need to take into account privacy and data protection, non-discrimination and fairness, transparency and accountability, and so on and so forth. So you see this, tons of stuff ready-made in the solution.
Yeah. And then, of course, you can fill it out, and it's easy to fill out with the typical survey forms and the playbook. So it's very convenient. And you can see then after this, it's ready to go, and you have then completed it, and I have full transparency of who completed it, when, and all the typical things you expect.
Absolutely.
All right, as we mentioned quickly, we'll not go into much detail on that, but Raptor DB is here and it's coming, and the Raptor DB Pro is for the people who really want to then be ready to drive that AI innovation and really push out with having the data capacity to then do all these hard queries and work with all that data. And of course, then the data workflow data fabric, which is more into how can we integrate and give these tools, like, okay, we want information from other tools, let's integrate them together and put them everything in one place. And this is what the product is then. The main area is, and just to integrate everything together, so we have all the information to be able to do the right decisions, right?
Yeah. So in short, I think AI, for that to work, it resides on data. It needs to be of a certain quality, and the performance needs to be good. So this is what it's all about, right? So making sure that the data is available, and it's available for the AI when it's needed, and it does so with a certain performance. So that's what it's all about.
Exactly. And then just a quick A to Z walkthrough, but it's really about establishing the governance we talked about. It's making a governance so it's not too rigid, but at least you have all on how the intake and all these things should be. Then is, of course, centralizing IDs. We want the IDs of these smart tech people, these smart people who really want to innovate, but we just need to have it available so you can actually see it, because might be two people thinking about the same thing and nobody's doing something about it. It's all about getting the good ideas in and then taking action. And that is you need to assess and then prioritize. Where do we then can get more top line and actually or save money, reduce cost in these cost living times? And then, okay, after we have assessed it, prioritized it, how can we then build it and deploy it as quick as possible with the least cost as possible, which is a success.
Needs to be balanced, yeah?
Yeah. And then, of course, it's at the end, it's all about, okay, well, now we deployed it, we have seen, now it's all about measuring. Is this a success? And if not, then let's look, maybe pause it, or maybe we didn't use it for the right thing. That is the key point, right?
Absolutely. I just wanted to mention that because we didn't see that in the demo, but the AI control tower actually comes with its own set of templates and a framework for measuring value. So you can actually do your own calculations, get it in there, and see that this is what we want to achieve. We wanted to see, let's say, 15% more customer satisfaction. Well, this is how we measure it, and actually be able to measure it real life.
You can actually measure inside of ServiceNow how your ServiceNow AI is performing.
Exactly.
All right, then some key takeaway. Stop the anarchy. Take away all the uncontrolled AI adoption, and instead of creating chaos, cost, and risk, you govern it a bit more. And then there is a certain around this AI, govern is value, and having actually AI give you value and having a governance. And of course, use the right tools.
That's for sure. Yes to both, yeah.
Yes. Yes to both all the good ideas and saying yes to having a good governance.
Absolutely.
Yeah, again, say thank you very much for spending
Thank you all.
your
Thanks
time with us.
everybody. And as always, reach out if there's anything we can do, both to Sondre, Sasha, and me. So don't be shy.
All right.
Then have a really great day.
You too as well.
Bye-bye.
Bye.